No, it'll be a game without him, but it's no, he's still heavily involved in the side. So he's got obviously an injury that we're getting right, rehabbing. But no, his influence is still very strong. No, Brevis is out. He had a side injury during training. So again, he is rehabbing. Hopefully it won't be too long. No, you always look a little bit at the points table, but it's a long tournament, so it's always nice to start well. You do a lot of preparation, and the first game really is the barometer of where you're at. So the first game is always important. You want to get away to a good start, so that's really what the focus has been on. Once you start the tournament, it becomes a little bit more about recovery and the work in between. But up until now, the full preparation has been how you start the tournament, which is where we sit now. Yeah, last season was difficult for us, but I think halfway through we made some changes. We had a number of injuries which didn't help the campaign, but we turned them into a positive. And I think now we're a really well-balanced squad. We've spent a lot of money on Indian talent, a lot of money on youth. So there's an excitement and an enthusiasm around the squad. There's a little bit of a deviation from what we've done in the past, but there's now still a nice mix of experience. Obviously the addition of Sanju Samson as well at the top is world class. So we enter this season in a pretty good space. Yeah, keep in mind we won it with a high strike rate as well a couple of years ago, so it's not foreign to us, but Sanju is one player that is going to be exciting to watch. We've got a number of others as well. The other thing to note is that Gaikwad broke his arm here last time, so we didn't have him for the season. So it's almost like getting a new player with him, and we've got some youngsters who are very exciting. So I don't think strike rate's going to be a problem, but it has to be high. And I think the indication last night is that the tournament, if the conditions are right, is going to be difficult for bowlers. So you have to be able to have a very positive approach with the batting, which I think we can do. I think it's the quality of young player that's coming through. Before it used to be a young player that lacked experience, but what you're seeing is the emergence of young players that have been brought up in white ball cricket and T20 cricket, and then they just have no fear. The other thing is the rules in IPL are different to every other competition in terms of the impact player, so you can play a bit more freely and without fear. And that suits certainly the young modern day player. We recall we've had a lot of success with experienced players, and experienced players that have been brought up playing longer form of the game. So technique's very good, ability to work through situations. But the game now has almost gone away from that, and it's really just about fours and sixes, which in some ways is a bit of a shame. But you have to move with the times. The balance between bat and ball is always ideal. But we've certainly moved into that space, and I'm really excited about some of the youth that we will put on show. No, we had big enough squads to cover it, but it's not just us. In fact, we're not too bad. Other teams have really been hit hard, and I don't think there'd be any team that has come through this without injuries. There's a lot of cricket, and managing players and how they arrive into the squad is really important. So it's not really what we do, it's how they arrive, and then we're either rehabbing or maintaining their fitness. And it's just part now, I think, of modern day cricket. There is so much going on and so many demands on these players, and it's such a high, such an energetic game that there are going to be some injuries. So we've got a big enough squad. If it's marquee players, you're not going to be able to fill those, but there's a lot of talent around, and thankfully India are producing so many good players that you can fill the team still with good sides. But the amount of injuries, I would say, is a concern for all franchises. Yeah.